friends, hello and welcome back. Oh yeah. We said it the way we weren't supposed to. I don't know what it is lately, but there's been comments lately that says, "Is that really how you talk?" And then I'm turn it off. I'm like, yeah, kind of a little bit. All right, but if that's what gets you, I didn't know. Is that cringe? Is it that bad? Might be. I don't know. Anyway. We're here today to talk a little bit about the trade deadline cards. An event that is, without question, gained a lot of, not so positive feedback from the community. Understanding so because of how random everything is in this. But at the end of the day, sifting through it all, I'm here to kind of say, you got to do as many of them as you possibly can. And don't be particular. Now, obviously, if you want to build one particular player and get your favorite player or whatever, you can. But at the end of the day, I consider this a massive investment and a massive advantage going into team of the season where more than likely there's going to be sets that require to trade in 85s, 86s, 87s, 88s, 89s to obtain team of the season players or collectibles or whatever you have to do. Much like it is for this one here where you can trade in... I didn't even realize that some of these sets were limited, obviously, but just like it is now, if you look for trade deadline collectibles, it is this one's the 85 overall, this is the 86. So for the 85 overall, you get 3 collectibles and a base pack. So I think it's huge because you go ahead and say, hey, for every trade deadline collectible, and you can get a lot of them just by doing the objectives. I recommend doing Hut Rush as well because it honestly took me like 45 minutes to get 1,000,000 points and get everything in there. There's a lot of stuff in there, a couple 87s as well. But I'd recommend doing as many of the regular ones as possible where you trade in 8 players and get one because it's an 85 overall. It's an 85 overall. And, what I think I had was 28 collectibles. And that was before doing a lot of the objectives. So if I could, get 4 or 5 more, that's 4 players. That's 4 85 overalls that can be traded in for, again, collectibles. And not only that, it's when we get to, let's say the Forsberg set. Did I upgrade Forsberg yet? No, I didn't do. But, I think I have 4 Forsberg collectibles already. So really, it's an 86, might have more than that. Just laying around from doing these objectives and stuff, you get a random amount of each player. Opposed to saying we trade in those players, you can trade in, 3 or 5 or whatever it is, re-roll them, and then get another one. But there's no guarantee you get the team of the player that you want. You could re-roll 30 collectibles and get 3 collectibles that go for your specific set. Opposed to taking those 30 collectibles and say it's 1 for every single player, you could have upgraded each of those players 1 overall point. And again, 85 to an 86, 86 to an 87 is huge when it comes to team of the season coming around because you're talking a difference in maybe, if you didn't build the player, no collectibles, you're talking a difference in maybe, 3 collectibles, 5 collectibles, 6 collectibles, or whatever the quota ends up being for team of the season. But that's a huge start. Because just like this, it costs 60 collectibles. Maybe you can build like 20 of them. Maybe you can get like 30 of them for team of the season. Do objectives, and maybe you need 30 more, just rough estimate here. And all of a sudden you have, 4 more 87s you built from this trade deadline event. You might dang near be there right on the front doorstep just by doing, the sets that of players you're like, I didn't really want these players. It's kind of random, kind of not helpful. And they don't really fit my team because they're only 87 overalls, but they're huge advantages into furthering your team in the future. So I do consider, honestly, one of the best quote unquote investments you can make right now is just trying to run through all of these completed games things, throw the players in your 3rd, 4th lines if you have to, if you're, worried about being competitive. I mean, there's still high enough overalls where you can do that. Chuck them in a 4th line, get those out of the way. Because again, there's 8, 10, there's an 87 Eberle out there. You'll get that with just playing. The premium upgrade choice pack, that's going to help you with the upgrades just by logging in. The shutout games and hut rivals, that's your 3 event collectibles as well. But I mean, you just look around and say, hey, there's just an event collectibles. This is another 3 players you can unlock in some of these objectives. And then all the collectibles that go with it. So you can almost end up with, 5 to 7 of these event players, 5 to 7 85 overalls, and there's no saying where they can go. I'd say you can get most of them to an 86, some of them to an 87, especially the week 2 players where they made collectibles or upgrade items more obtainable. And then when you do have all of them unlocked, go ahead and use your elite upgrade or your collectibles to get random collectibles, or you can, even if you want to stop at like 5 or 6 and then use 8 or 9 collectibles to try to, if you're really close to upgrading some of your players and you want to re-roll those into, not re-roll them, but change the collectibles into upgrade items. See if you try your luck out there. I mean, that wouldn't be bad either if you have 6 leagues left over coming into the week. But I would definitely recommend trying to get that out of the way before team of the season starts. That way it ain't an extra thing you're grinding, and it's just an extra thing to say, what team of the season's going to start. Like, that's that's besides team of the year. That's the end of all of be all, where it's like, these are the cards I want to get to ride out the rest of the year. So just a quick little, idea here. Hopefully it's something you guys found helpful. As always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.